Let's start with what one of them is doing.
The wife is the withdrawer.
Okay, she's the withdrawer, so what does she do? What's evidence that she's withdrawing?
She doesn't really respond. They really don't talk very much.
Okay, so she doesn't talk very much, so what does she do? What does she do by nothing? She gets quiet, she pulls away, she goes to the bedroom.
She goes to the bedroom.
Okay, so let's say her name's Sue. So Sue, one of the things that...
That's okay.
That's her name? Nailed it! All is intuition, right? That's hilarious. And his name is Bob. That would have been hilarious if it was. I would pay you later. Okay, so Sue, how this thing starts between you two is, or in the middle of all this, at some point, you end up disappearing. You end up going to the bedroom. And then, Mark, when you see her go to the bedroom, then Mark, it seems like you feel.
He feels abandoned.
Okay. And what is that? Feel abandoned. You feel abandoned, and what's the emotion? That's the primary emotion. That's the second emotion that he's aware of. You feel abandoned and angry, maybe?
Yes.
You feel abandoned and angry, right? And then you don't, what, you don't matter to her? Right? And then what does he do when she goes to bed?
He goes to the bed.
Okay, so then they're going to withdraw. So then you go to your bedroom, and you go to your bedroom, and this is how it impacts her. You go around the room. Okay? All right? Another one. Do you have another couple? Okay.
Maybe mine.
Okay, all right. You have a pursuer withdrawer?
Yeah. Close to that. They're disorganized. They both have come from trauma backgrounds. So
Okay, so this might be hard.
All over the pot mess place.
Okay, so we'll try yeah.
But I have seen them do pursue withdrawal at moments.
So start with the pursuer.
Okay. He will. So his like secondary emotion is he gets pretty angry, and.
Okay, so start with that action.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll I'm trying to think of a way to word it. What he does, he's the pot stirrer. So he'll like get other people involved in their situation.
Okay, so in your relationship, sometimes you'll get, one of the things that you'll do is you'll get other people involved in the relationship. You'll go out, you'll reach for support, people to
he almost like
to agree with you.
Yeah, he'll get people, try to get other people on his side, or like to like see what he sees, like, to kind of validate his view.
Okay, so you say that to him, and then you go down.
To her?
Yep. And then you go down to this.
Okay. She perceives everything he says as like a lie.
What's the emotion first? Secondary emotion. When he's triangulating other people in the relationship.
Probably. She keeps saying like that it's unnecessary, that you don't need to do that. So.
Confused?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's annoyed by it.
Okay, say annoyed, sure. So she feels annoyed, then her perception, you're about to go there.
Yeah. So her perception is that. I don't know, because she just thinks everything he says is a lie.
So you perceive that he's lying?
Yeah, she doesn't believe anything he ever says.
Right. So you don't believe anything he says. Your perception is that he's lying to you.
And her action is to shut down.
And so then what does it look like?
She literally like will lean over in her chair.
Okay, so then you have to say that, and so then you actually lean over in your chair and you'll pull away.
Yeah.
So you're going to use the language of what's actually going for the couple, right? And so now you can paint the whole secondary cycle. So let me see if I understand that, right? So it sounds like when you're in this relationship and you guys are in a fight and you're distressed, one of the things that you do, husband, Phil, one of the things that you do is you gather people around you to help validate what you're experiencing in a relationship, right? To whatever that is. And then when you do that, if something happens to you, Sue, no, James, no, Terry, no, Paula?
Don't go to the casino tonight.
So then you become, we say annoyed? So you start to feel annoyed,
Yeah.
and then you perceive him as lying, right, as being a liar, and you can't trust anything he says, and so then you just pull away from him, and then when you pull away from him, when you lean over and you actually physically move away from him, then you end up feeling, right, and then you paint it around. Okay, and so that's kind of what she started doing in her tape. It's going to paint the secondary cycle. This is what the couple's aware of, and you're just laying it out for you. This is the pattern. I'm going to just give you the pattern. Okay, is that making sense to you guys? Okay, so, yep.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say the thing that probably would have been a better example is because if she's not shutting down, before she shuts down, she gets like really cognitive and very like rigid and structural, and like will pull in every detail from dates to court cases to like outcomes of like yeah, and then so that like really pushes his buttons is when she like catches him in saying something that wasn't true.
Okay, so maybe it starts there. So what you first do is you get cognitive, you do all these things. And then he comes around, and then you finally shut down. Right, so the cycle doesn't have to, it can like escalate, right, until finally it shuts down. You withdraw, she withdraws, right, or whatever happens. Yeah. Okay? All right? Okay. So this helps the couple see their cycle or their pattern or their dance based upon what they're aware of. And everything blood lines what they're unaware of. And this is where everything's going to get softened. Everything is distressed up in here, and it's going to move from escalated to de-escalated. This is why this is a stage of de-escalation. So we're going to move from the escalated dance to de-escalated dance by introducing the primary emotions and unmet attachment needs. Okay? All right. So here's how the cycle goes. I already showed this criticized attack. Second emotion is numbed out. She's too demanding. Shut down and avoid. Gets angry. He doesn't care. Critical attack, and it goes around and around. Okay? And if we were going for the whole gamut, if we're going down into the primary emotions and unmet attachment needs, it would go all the way down from critical attack. Actually, it hits the unmet attachment needs first. It threatens the unmet attachment needs of acceptance. The primary emotion is hurt, which drives to feeling numb and saying that she's too demanding and shutting down. But actually, the perception is being influenced by the secondary emotion, not the primary emotion. And the behavior is being influenced by the secondary emotion, not the primary emotion. That's why the emotion is the target. Right? As soon as I shift to her, it's going to influence the perception and the action. Does that make sense? And then if I draw on them attachment needs, it's going to soften them even more. Okay, so it goes around and around. And the pursuit draw dance. Okay, so this is a tape of Valerie working with a couple who's painting their dance for you. Okay.
Who's what?
This is a couple that she's working with right here that's going to paint their dance.
Oh, paint their dance.
Yep.
I didn't understand.
Okay, so this couple I've been working with for, well, I don't know how long. They come for 2 hours at a time. So I did notice this is their 10th session, but it's probably equivalent to more like their 20th session because they come for 2 hours at a time because they drive quite a distance. And so she had an affair, and then they've also had it was a brief affair, and then they've also just struggled with parenting that kind of caused, their marriage was quite happy. Then they gave birth to a child, which kind of caused the demise of their marriage, which I think kind of caused her struggles, which led to the affair. So that's kind of, and then the other piece too is he's avoidably attached. He's a child of adoption. He claims that his family, he grew up in a very happy home, but he never had really any emotional support growing up. And so being connected to his wife was a very foreign thing, and he started trusting her, but he recognized just through our work together that he never really, he just started trusting her. She's the first relationship that he ever trusted, and only just a little bit. And then when this happened, everything fell apart. So, how do I start it, Dr. Frank?
Just hit the forward button.
Oh.
Okay, guys.
How do I turn it?
Alright, so what I was wondering.
Is that loud enough?
We talked a lot about how
You guys
Turn it up a little.
what happens at home is kind of like a pattern.
How do I turn it up?
It's on the other white one, the white remote.
Oh.
It really is more of just the same thing happening over and over again. Remember we talked about that over the last few months? Why don't, if you guys would, maybe one of you, or you guys can just sort of chime in back and forth. What is it that happens, this pattern that goes on in you guys' marriage?
I feel like it's happening a little less
Yeah, definitely.
lately.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Is that loud enough?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay ahead of you.
Well, do you mean like pattern between us or the three of us?
Either one. Well, maybe we can start with the two of you. That might be the most pertinent for right now.
I guess the last 2 days were pretty rough.
Prior to today.
Yeah, prior to today. I don't know, I think just, I just gotta think about things that happened and it kind of brings me down. And I just, don't really talk. Won't talk. Sarah was pretty blessed with this.
If you have some time to yourself and you start kind of ruminating about what happened, you get quiet, you kind of remove yourself. And it happens most often when Sarah's away working, those long shifts. That seems to be pretty much always the case, right? Yeah.
Which I do.
So when you work those long shifts, that's almost always what triggers it, right?
Seems to be.
Yeah, I don't really know why.
Yeah, well, probably because you're not close to each other, sort of reaffirming one another, right? Okay, so keep going.
So I usually text them through the day. Like yesterday, I texted him and said, "How's your day?" And he responded, "Not good." So it takes me a little bit to decide how to respond to that.
Yeah, so what's that like for you, Sarah? When you hear it not good, what do you know is, based on what your pattern is, what do you sort of know is going on there?
I know that
Excuse me.
So how do I pause it?
withdrawal, he won't talk.
You gotta
He
roll the,
won't text.
you gotta scroll the
Call him. No.
pointer over it.
I lose my appetite.
Okay. Okay, so in my best Sue Johnson, did you notice what I just did there? I do lots of what's it like for you? Yeah.
What skill is that?
Nice.
Get a kick myself.
Get all evocative, everyone.
You start feeling almost like physically ill, because you know that as soon as you get off work, you almost like know the next move.
I start to get anxious.
I can tell that's impacting you right now, but you know that it hurts her, and it's hard for you to almost like get out of it though, right? It's like you go to that place and
Heightening
it's
the
very
emotion
powerful
here.
for you, but you don't even know kind of like what to do to remove yourself out of it.
Right. Like I don't wanna tell her,
Yeah.
because I don't wanna, make her worry or hurt her anymore.
Like you don't want to talk about it, but at the same time, at this point, you already know that it's hurting her.
Yeah.
Because she can tell, because you've been through these moves so many times before. Yeah. So let's just pause for a second, and even as we're talking about it, what's it like for you to see her tear up as we're talking about this pattern?
That doesn't feel good.
Yeah. What are you experiencing in the tears right now?
I don't know, it's just kind of hard a couple weeks, I think. I think in the past couple of weeks, conversations have occurred about not ever being happy again, or don't know if I can ever be happy with you, or
That's really scary for you. And so when you get that text, when you check in, because you're working those long shifts, and you notice, from the text side, not good, you notice that he's closing off. And then you come home from work, what happens next? What is sort of the next thing that you can be ready for, or that you're anticipating because of the pattern?
I'm anticipating withdrawal, but it seems like most recently, that's not been so much the case.
So because we're 20 hours in, that's significant progress in our work together. In the first mini sessions together, he would become triggered at work so she's a nurse, and so she would do these long 12-hour shifts, sometimes 3 days in a row. And by the end of the third day, he would be completely withdrawn.